Hi friends, welcome to this online tutorial. Today I will be showing you how you can achieve a fitted Peter Pan collar. Here is my bodice block, my front block and my back block. We will have to separate this bodice block to be able to achieve the Peter Pan collar. This is my neck point, my shoulder point for my front block. That's my shoulder point for my front block, my shoulder point for my back block, my neck point for my back block. Let me go ahead now and cut out the pattern so that we overlay them. You need to understand that the Peter Pan collar is a flat collar. It is achieved by placing the shoulder of the back bodice to the shoulder of the front bodice such that the neck points touch each other and the outer shoulder, that is the shoulder point or the shoulder tips, will also touch each other. Or you can also achieve it by making this outer shoulder overlap each other by a few centimeters. Okay, so we go ahead and separate the blocks so that we can bring them together. You also have to understand that when you are bringing this when you are bringing the neck points together, it has to be such that the neck point meets just at the exact point where it should meet. And you do this so that the center front of the front block has to be straight. It has to lay straight. The back block, it will be twisted when the front block is straight. That is fine, but it is very important that you keep the front block straight. So I will go ahead now and tape down the shoulder joints so that we will be able to achieve our straps. Okay, having taped it down, we'll need to determine the width of the collar we want to design. The width of the collar is strictly your design. You could choose it bigger, you could choose it wider. Now I'll have to use this other white paper, my white pattern paper, to underlay it so that when I am drafting my Peter Pan, I will have to trace it out on the underlaying paper such that we will achieve our design. And also note that the center front has to match the underlaying paper on a straight line. You have to keep it in such a way that they both meet at that front on the straight line. So that is what we are doing at this point. So like I said earlier, you have to determine the width of your collar. For this tutorial, I will be working with a collar size of 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. So this is the width of my collar. So beginning from my neck point, I'm going to keep it at an angle that is unique to the neckline and take it all round by 2.5 inches. Observe the way I am carrying the tape round. No, I'm keeping it at an angle that is irrelevant to the neck point. So you have to keep it that way to be able to achieve. So I'm going to be measuring my 2.5 inches all round the neck point. I hope you get it easily. Okay, now we have gotten the mark out for our collar. Now the next thing that we will need to do is we need to draw the neckline to reflect on the paper. because the neckline of our bodies have to coincide with the neckline of the Peter Pan collar. Remember that the white pattern paper is the one that we will use to draft out the collar. So at the back bodice, rule a line that is straight with the center back, so such that it reflects on the collar paper, and then trace out the neckline so that when we are cutting out, it will serve as a reference point. Having gotten that out, the next thing that we will be achieving is to trace out, using our tracing wheel, to trace out the width of the collar, which we had earlier on marked out, relevant to the neck point, the neckline, I beg your pardon. So we will trace it out. Okay, our pattern is almost set. So I will now removing the pattern paper so that I can now trace out the marks that I have made so that you can see clearly. My tracing wheel had made it easy for me, so I'm just making it bolder so that you can see it. You can use a curve ruler if you find it difficult to trace it with a free hand. So we will now go ahead and cut out our design. Whenever you are making yours, please, you can label so that you don't make the mistake of turning the front to the back, because the minute you cut it out, the front and the center front and the center back look so alike that if you did not take special notice of how they are, you could turn them about. So it's always advisable that you label your patterns so that you can know exactly which is which. Okay, so that is how our pattern will overlay on the bodice block, so that even after you have finished making your dress, the outlay that you have on the pattern is the same way at which it will come on your dress, on your finished product. So it is always advisable that you take all the time that you can while you are drafting your pattern to make sure that everything lies perfectly. Okay, you also need to understand that the Peter Pan collar at the center front has a slight curve. You can design yours as you want. For our pattern set, this is the way I want it to be. So you can see that this collar is very common in babies' waist. So that is the design that we want to achieve in this case. So voila, our Peter Pan collar is set. As simple as that. So I will advise that you go try it out and see how it lays for you. If this tutorial has been useful for you, I will appeal that you give us a thumbs up, a comment, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell. We will be dealing with many other colors. Thank you. Bye.